stop whining. Carole Malone lost patience with Harry's despicable move "need to moan alone." Will there ever be a day when Prince Harry opens his self-pitying mouth without moaning? Because since he married Meghan and quit Britain, that's all he seems to have done. He's moaned about the media persecuting his mum, he's moaned about the British people claiming we're racists. He's moaned about his father cutting off his money and about the royal family in general claiming they too are racists. He's moaned about losing his police protection, his charities, his titles and his patronages. This week's Big Moan was about how he suffered from burnout in the past. From what? Partying? And he now has to find white space for himself each day to meditate. Unhappy Harry was speaking at an online event for coaching company Better Up, where he spewed out a load of psychobabble about how he was being schooled by the universe and combating stress within a work. Some real work might do him more good. This would be funny if it wasn't so tragic. Harry is one of the world's most pampered men who's never known a moment's financial hardship. In terms of intellect, the fact that he got a D in A-level geography and a B in art, and that's after one of his Eton teachers said she wrote part of his coursework, says it all. Yet now he's a personal coach telling other people how to live their lives despite having made such a mess of his own. Compare and contrast that to the Duchess of Cambridge this week. Just hours after taking over Harry's rugby league and union patronages, she pitched up at Twickenham, the home of England rugby, with a megawatt smile and got stuck into a training session with players from both the men's and women's teams. Apart from the fact that she looked drop-dead gorgeous in England's official black tracksuit, she literally threw herself into the whole thing by making some passes, getting into a scrum and scoring a try. The players even lifted her up as she went to grab the ball in a line-out and she laughed uproariously. How delighted those players must feel to be shot of misery guts Harry, who's turned into the world's biggest wet blanket and is so obsessed with his inner self that he doesn't give a toss about rugby or in fact anything that isn't about him. With Kate as their patron they'll get nothing but positive publicity and support. She'll draw attention to the game in the very best of ways. How long before she produces a book of her own photos celebrating them? Even this week she talked about how not only is her dad, Michael, a big rugby fan, but Will's and her own kids Princes George and Louis, who she described as kamikaze, and Princess Charlotte all play it at home in the garden. Now both Kate and Wills, who is patron of the Welsh Rugby Union, are expected to attend some of the games during the Six Nations tournament, and their competitive banter will make more positive headlines. And while Harry continues to bring nothing but hurt and shame to the royal family, Kate is now its single biggest asset. Prince Harry talks about his struggles with burnout with tennis star Serena Williams. The Duke of Sussex was candid about his own mental health and the advice he sought during the online conversation. Prince Harry has opened up about his struggles with burnout in a chat with tennis star Serena Williams. He said he was literally getting to the very end of everything that I had, any fuel or any steam in the engine, just like I was burning the candle at both ends. He added, and it was like boom, that is when you are forced to look inside yourself, because with everything else around you seemingly, you feel as though it's working against you, the only way that you could really combat it. He said, I think people are gonna need to rely on each other and on professional help, but also not just professional help. Also friends, family, maybe complete strangers. Anyone can actually help you in that coaching process.